Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast. Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Arnaud Grunwald. Arnaud Grunwald is the Chief Product Officer at Betterworks, a software solution closing the loop between companies' strategy, people, and results through a unique combination of objectives and key results, continuous performance management, and employee engagement. Previously, Arnaud founded and led Hyphen, an employee engagement analytics company acquired by Betterworks in early 2020. Well, good afternoon, Arnaud. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good afternoon, Brian.
Great to have you on the show, Arnaud. This is so exciting for us because podcasting is where I live, and I know not everybody lives there, but I'm totally thrilled to have you on the show, but also just thrilled because, again, it's another person I'm getting to connect with virtually across the globe. So thank you again. And so, Arnaud, we're going to jump right into the questions here. Let's talk about your career. You've got quite the career in consulting as an entrepreneur, and now the Chief Product Officer at Betterworks. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
That's a question that I ask myself sometimes. When you look at my LinkedIn, for instance, you see something that can seem a little bit haphazard. I started in consulting and quite, quantitative consulting for the pharmaceutical industry. So something very niche that led me to work for Novartis, the pharmaceutical company, as the head of analytics there. And then came back to build software in California, but still in the pharmaceutical domain. And then I jumped to HR technology, building my own company, employee engagement, a company called Hyphen that was then bought by Betterworks last year. So it feels like a lot of directions and changes. But as you asked the question about career growth and what inspires me, I think, at Betterworks, we are the pioneers for the methodology called OKRs, Objectives and Key Results. And this is a methodology that helps organizations be focused, aligned, committed, and stretching. And very often I think as my career as such, I always had focus. I wanted to become an expert. I was curious, I was perseverant, but I want to become an expert. And that's always what allowed me to get to the next step. I retained alignment in that I was consistent, even though the career path looks haphazard. The consistency is analytics. I graduated in applied math. I was already interested in analytics. And throughout my career, the thread has been analytics. And that's, you can change direction, but I think it's important to have something to latch onto that people consider you an expert. Being committed, it's, whatever direction you're choosing, be 200% in. Whether you are a corporate employee, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are being bought out, be 200% in, have it shown in your behavior, in your energy, and good things will happen to you. And then stretch, I would say be opportunistic, right? Not every phase of your career should last forever. So follow your passions, follow your gut, assess where you are and when adjustments are needed, and when there's a possibility to jump onto something interesting, do it. My answer to your question would be very much aligned with OKRs, objectives and key results. That gives me focus, alignment, commitment, and stretching.
Thank you for sharing that. And that's a great way to put it. I've not heard it like that before, but I think it would certainly makes logical sense and certainly going to resonate with someone in our audience. So thank you again. I do appreciate it. And I love the fact your diversified and varied career has really, I think, contributed to your success as well. So thank you. So Arnaud, now that the pandemic is starting to lift, well, kind of, California is, I guess, kind of going back now, but what are your plans for your business growth going forward? And will it be any different than the last 15 months?
Yeah, so I recently became the Chief Product Officer for Betterworks. And I think we have a huge opportunity out there. And again, Betterworks is a solution that closes the loop between strategy, people, and results for our customers. What it means is that it allows every single employee to have clear and transparent goals that are linked to the strategy of the company, so that senior leadership can know that everybody is rowing in the same direction. At the same time, we have processes that allow to coach and give just-in-time feedback to people so that they have a good chance of achieving their objective, which put together will achieve the company's strategy. So with that in mind, Betterworks is just a very timely solution for the new hybrid work. And so it's a very exciting time for us because the world of work has changed. People work differently. People work from home. People work remote. People work hybrid, and they need a place to communicate asynchronously, but not in the way you communicate on Slack, or communicate on the strategic stuff. Being sure that you're aligned with your team, being sure that you're aligned with your department, with your company, getting the right coaching, getting the right feedback, for managers to check how engaged their employees are, how much support they get, what initial support they should get, identifying their areas for development. All these things don't happen in in-person one-on-ones anymore, and don't happen in rooms or even at the coffee machine anymore. They happen in Zoom, they happen in Slack, they happen in Microsoft Teams, they happen in asynchronous solutions like Betterworks. So we see increased demand, and you might have seen while preparing the podcast, but Betterworks has received an additional 61 million in investment recently. So I'm in a position to be able to double the size of my team. So the product management team and the design team is doubling in size, and the engineering team that I partner with is also doubling in size. So we're in a phase of hypergrowth, of exciting roadmap delivery, and thinking about how to improve our existing feature set and roll out, competitive differentiation in the market. So for me, it's going to be thriving in this new role and just growing our market share in the HR technology market.
That's exciting. Having that investment certainly will position you for success, and I certainly wish you the best of success around that. So thank you. That's an important point.
And I would add one area that I feel very excited about, and that we're just scratching the surface of, is development, employee development, leadership development. I've talked about closing the loop between strategy, people, and results. And the only way you can do that consistently is to ensure that you have a workforce that is skilled, upskilled, that is learning as they go, that have the resources that they need to achieve their goals. And so I'm super excited. I think we can link up with other software solutions that do development, that do coaching, that do training, and just have something that is employee central, where they know what they're working on and they know what they need to do a good job. So that's an area that I feel excited about for the next 12 months.
Great. Thanks again, Arnaud. I appreciate that. So Arnaud, let's talk about a little bit about tech here. You're obviously leveraging some new and emerging technologies within your tech stack. Is there anything you might be able to share with us today?
Yeah, I can share some names that we're considering.
Sure.
I cannot share names that we are using today, because that would be competitive intelligence. Sure. But for instance, when you're thinking about our data pipeline that we're looking to strengthen, there are new tools like Fivetran, like Mozart Data, like Snowflake, Looker, and all the Amazon ecosystem, AWS tools, Aurora that plugs into it. These are not tools that we're using today, but that would make it easier to make data flow between our transactional data base and a more analytical database where machine learning, AI, and analytics can run. So that's in terms of data pipeline, we're looking at some tools like that. AI, we have data scientists on staff, and we're using a lot of open source libraries. We're starting to play around with tools like OpenAI and GPT-3, but that's very early, very, very early. On the front end, we're looking at using new programming systems like Vue.js that supports material design, and so refreshing our front end with something that's scalable and up to date as well. And then last but not least, what we do with OKRs is that not only you set your objectives, you set your key results, but it would be extremely painful to ask employees to come to Betterworks every Friday afternoon and update their goals. What employees want is their goals to be updating automatically. What does it mean? It means that if you're a salesperson and you're selling a new deal and that's being closed in Salesforce.com, as soon as it's closed, it needs to flow directly into Betterworks, right? So that you don't have to come and update your achievement to date on your quota. Same for engineers. If you close an issue on Jira, you shouldn't have to come to Betterworks to say I closed that issue on Jira. It should flow automagically, if that word exists. So we're looking at platforms that would help us accelerate our roadmap in terms of integrations. So there are integration platform as a service, iPaaS, like Tray.io, like Cloud Elements, the Cloud Connectors, Workato, Boomi, etc. That are things that we're looking into. We haven't made a decision. We haven't purchased anything yet. But instead of connecting your APIs with other APIs, systems of work like Jira, Salesforce.com, and there are dozens and dozens more, you can equip yourself with a sort of integration middleware that would allow you to integrate much faster with these systems, systems of work that we want to integrate with. So that's another family of modern tools that we're looking into.
That's amazing. And appreciate you sharing that, because that helps our audience understand kind of what companies are leveraging or will be leveraging in the future to make their processes more efficient. So Arnaud, last question here. Can you share something from your career experience that would be helpful for those looking to grow their career in either technology or entrepreneurship?
Either technology or entrepreneurship. Well, first one is take the leap when it presents.
Sure.
Right. When I was in consulting, I was 28 years old, and my boss called me and said, Arnaud, do you want to go and become the head of analytics for Novartis, the #1 pharmaceutical company, ad interim? So there was nothing permanent. So very exciting. Caveat, I was living in San Francisco and it was in Basel, Switzerland. And by the way, you need to be there next week. So, and I had roommates at the time, so I left a bunch of furniture behind me, but take the leap because it's worth it and things will figure themselves out. And it's true also for entrepreneurship. It's even scarier, especially as a first-time entrepreneur who's not stemming from or hailing from Google or Facebook. When you're transitioning from a corporate salary to zero salary, right? So even if you have put money on the side, it's scary to become an entrepreneur. Take the leap, follow your passion, and build the right team. probably don't start something by yourself, because that's even scarier, and it's not good to be isolated. But surround yourself with people that you respect, people that you admire, people that you love working with. Also grow a network of people that you don't necessarily, work with on a daily basis, but some people that you can reach out to. These immediate relationships, people that you work with, your team, your founding team, and your extended network is what will enable you to survive as you take the leap.
Great. I love that. I really do. And I think that is going to be a great little gem for somebody out there, especially in the entrepreneur side of things, whether they're starting or thinking to start a business. And so I really, really do appreciate that, Arnaud. And Arnaud, it was a pleasure having you on today. And I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thank you. And I would say if anyone wants to contact me on LinkedIn, please do so.
Great. Bye for now.